Hello, everyone. We hope everyone is enjoying their time. We are La Mesita. My name is Victor,
Nama Bisay.
and today we have a wonderful guest with us today, Pierce English, a young, enthusiastic, charismatic, and uplifting artist.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So for those who don't know, Pierce is a young Chicago artist. Currently, he has produced his debut EP with The Pilot Part 1. In addition, he has two singles, SDGAF and Clear For Me. He was also featured in Jamari Mickle's album Growing Pains track Balance.
Aside from engaging in his path for the love of music, Pierce can be seen across the lens. Recently, Pierce was published under Vogue, Italy. So let's get started. Hello, Pierce English. How are you today?
I'm alright. How are you guys doing today?
Good, good. What have you been up to during this pandemic?
Just creating. I still have to go to work, so that kind of sucks. But mostly creating, reflecting, kind of putting my head down and working on music. So that's about it. Staying safe, I hope, right?
Yes, always. As an artist, what was your first music performance experience?
So it's kind of like cliche, but because I'm a singer, but it was in church. So it's like my first church solo. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't want to sing solo at all though at first, but I was kind of pushed to do it, and then I was like, oh, I kind of like this attention, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it. So yeah, that's how that works.
Where were you when you started to pave your music pathway?
My first apartment, it was like right before I got my first apartment, like right before I moved out of my parents' house. That's when I started like writing, and I really was like, okay, I want to put my own music out. And I met my roommate, who was also my producer. She produces all of my tracks. It was kind of like a divine order, because her mom was doing my mom's hair, and her mom was bragging about her doing music, and my mom was bragging about us doing music, and then we kind of connected that way. And then one thing led to another, we became roommates, and the rest is history.
And so we checked your Instagram live feed, and for Black History Month, you covered fascinating and great musicians and singers. Who are a few of your favorite artists, and why?
Okay, so it's gonna be three for me, because they usually encompass my sound. So it would be Sade, it would be Brandy, and then it would be Donny Hathaway.
Can I have like another question? Because I don't know who any of those artists are. And so can you explain to me who they are?
Okay, so Brandy, she's from the 90s, she hardcore R&B and hip-hop influence, very vibey type sound.
Yeah.
Very skilled singer. She's a very skilled singer. And then Donny Hathaway was another soul singer, but he was more so in the 70s era. He used to play the piano, very soulful, full sounding voice. It can give you a little bit of power, a little bit of gospel. And then Sade was more so in the 80s, started in the 80s into the 90s. She's still relevant now, but yeah, she gives you really vibey type vocals, a very big sounding band. Her band, like one of the best bands you'd ever hear in your life, and a very, very smooth type of performer. Her movements, her just everything is very intentional. So I try to encompass all of those artists within what I do.
Yeah, I see. For this next question, if you could feature or be featured in any track, who would you want to collab with?
I think I'm really feeling Billie Eilish, if that's her name. I'm really feeling her. So I feel like I would love to be on the track with Billie Eilish. I just like her vibe. It's so easy.
Her aesthetic?
Yes. and her sound is so easy for me, and I really like that. I like her vibe. So it was Billie. It's Billie for me.
So how would you feel like your music path will evolve or shift to?
Ooh, that's a good question. It'll more so reflect my life experiences because now I'm getting older. So, all the experiences that I'll be experiencing as a result of getting older, it'll reflect that. But I also hope it just gets more polished and more it's more receptive with people. It relates to more people. The sound just kind of pierces people's hearts more, and I feel like that's how I know I did my job as an artist. If you feel what I'm saying, if you feel,
I feel.
Yeah.
What was your first music experience?
I would say cartoons. When I used to watch cartoons, like any Disney movie or any like Looney Tunes, I used to always be honed in on the music part. So memorizing all of the songs and kind of performing them to myself, because I wasn't performing them to anybody else, because I was really, really shy. But I would memorize them and perform them to myself because I really liked the music aspect of it. If it had music in it, I was watching it as a child. So
I get you. So, what was your favorite song to perform out of everything?
It probably was the Donny Hathaway song. The first Donny Hathaway song I've ever heard was A Song for You. And I used to love that song.
Interesting.
Okay, Pierce. We know that you like to take pictures. What encouraged you to pursue photograph?
It was mostly one of my good friends. She's a photographer, and she would always kind of use me as her muse. I wanted to model at a time, but I always thought I was too short and too stubby. But she always was like, "Oh, I'm gonna use you as a muse." So I never really took it as serious. Sometimes I would try to like go on little auditions and stuff like that, but I would already know that I wouldn't get the job because I didn't fit the norm for a model. But so she would usually use me as her muse, and we would just take a lot of pictures. We would have a concept for the visuals, and we would just kind of see those concepts through. And she would just take pictures, and then she would post them. And then she went on to actually major in college in photography. And then the rest is history.
You covered grounds on music and photo, and now as a model. We checked out your post by Vogue Italy. Congratulations. How did that project came to be?
Oh, that was actually really weird because I took that picture 2017, and it was another one of those times where my friend, who's a photographer, came to me with a concept, and I was like, "What? In the bathtub? In my bathtub?" But I was just like, "Let's go with it." And he just started shooting me in my bathtub with a wet T-shirt on. And I was just like, "Whoa, this is a crazy concept." But she started snapping those pictures, and then she would show them to me. And I'm just like, "Okay, these are kind of good." And then I posted them first, and people really liked them on my page, and I'm just like, okay. And then all of these years later, she starts getting all of these features in Vogue Italy, and I was like, whoa, congratulations, best friend, and all of these accolades. I was giving her so much praise, and I was just like, they would never use my pictures, because she started using like real models. She started working with really like high profile models. And then, boom, one day she texted me and was just like, I have a surprise for you. And I was just like, oh, okay, what's that? And then she sent me the link, and I was like, I was stunned. That's the biggest thing to ever happen in my life, period. Like my career. That's the biggest thing. To be, because Vogue is, I mean, legendary. Vogue is like top tier. So to be even featured like that was a major humbling experience. And it boosted my confidence just a little bit, you know. But that was great.
That's good to hear. Are you currently working on any shoots or projects?
Yes, I'm working on a lot of music. So the pilot part 2 should be coming soon. Because I need to finish that, like, because I can't say part 1 and then there's no part 2. So yeah, that's coming pretty soon. Trying to put the finishing touches on that. And then I know I have a shoot with a new photographer on Saturday. So we'll see how those images come out. So I'm excited to put out a lot more content and just try to expand my fan base and everything. People who see this face, try to expand who knows me.
Another question is, how do you go about finding your fashion style?
It's usually just vision, like shapes, silhouettes, and colors. Sometimes patterns. I'm not that good at pattern mixing or whatever, but it's mostly just shapes and silhouettes and colors. So depending on the silhouette or the colors that I want to go for, or the mood or the theme of the photo shoot also. So that also plays a role. But yeah, mainly shapes and silhouettes. I love silhouettes. Like if you ever look at my cover art for my music, it's a lot of silhouettes, a lot of shapes. And, you don't necessarily see my face as much, but I just really like the concept of a silhouette.
What is your favorite weird combination of food?
Ooh, that's a good one. And I actually when I used to work in the office, I actually put a lot of people onto this. So get ready. You might want to try it after this. It's French fries and guacamole.
Why?
It's just something about it. It's the because you already eat guac with like chips usually. So I don't know, that potato. It's something about it. It's like it kind of, and the saltiness of the potato, because usually people put salt on fries, and then you put that chunky guac on top. It's a hit. Thank you later.
Okay, I'll try that later.
If we were to defund the police, what would be an essential way to use that money for the community?
Ooh. Now we getting into some. That's a heavy question right there. Whoa. Okay. Definitely back into the education, because come on now. We are struggling. Chicago has been struggling in that department, and it's a real shame when you see the numbers that are being put into the police in comparison to CPS. That's shameful. But also, just the fact that they started to do this thing with the housing for homeless people during this pandemic, it kind of told me that they could have been doing this all along. So I would also say the housing of the homeless could be something else that money could be allocated to, because you see them everywhere in every viaduct sometime, and sometimes in the park, or they just have nowhere to go. So that would be a perfect way to allocate the money. So schooling and the homeless.
Okay, so here's another one, an interesting one. This one you have to give a lot of thought into it. If you had a time machine and could go back in time, keep in mind you only have 60 seconds with young Pierce English. what advice would you tell young Pierce?
Ooh, that's deep. Now that is a deep one. Woo! Y'all asking some good questions. I would I would say never dim your light for anybody, because I was really, I wanted to be liked a lot, so I didn't want to show too much of my talent because I didn't want people to feel some type of way. You know how some people like may get jealous or may think that you are more than what you think you are. I never wanted to be like the one that everybody was annoyed to be around because I felt like I was stuff or whatever. So I always kind of was really laid back. Sometimes never took opportunities because I thought it would, create a rift in certain relationships. But now I feel like I would tell myself to take every opportunity, take all the risks, because as an adult, it'll pay off. You'll look back and be like, okay, if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be doing this right here. So, just never dimming my light for anybody, because I was always scared to be judged by friends or whoever that was around me. So, definitely that.
Lastly, what message would you want to give to the world?
Through my music, through anything that I do, I always want to give the message of being an individual. Independent thought is very important to me. Having your own ideas, being self-motivated. Of course, not saying that you don't need anybody or that you wouldn't want other like friends and family around, but it's always good to know how to take care of yourself, know how to create on your own, know how to learn on your own, know how to motivate yourself on your own sometimes, because you don't know, you never know what will happen. Like it may just be you at a point. You need to know how to be by yourself and be efficient by yourself. So individualism is really big to me. Knowing when to mind your business and knowing when to get involved is very important to me.
Thank you for your time, Pierce. We hope to hear you soon. We wish you a wonderful pathway to your music career and many beautiful things to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. And this is a great platform to have the youth experiencing this industry. Would be okay. That's awesome.
All right. Before we end this, is there any links you would like to share where we can check your music and craft?
Mainly it just will be my Instagram, and it'll be the gateway to everything else. My name on Apple Music and all the streaming sites will be Pierce English, Pierce English, English, like the class, and then my Instagram is PIERCE_LANVIN, and you can find everything on my Instagram. That's like the primary social media that I'm on all the time. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you again for your time. My name is Victor.
And my name is Abisai. And this was Pierce English.
Thank you.
Been feeling away some type of way, I can't stay. Been giving away my loving away, my money away. I'm running on empty. Today I find a way, the words to say. I can't delay, can't be afraid. Please tell me what made you hurt me. Let's go to the part where I first gave you my heart. I was open from the start, and it wasn't very smart. You used it against me.